Stress is not something that happens to us. It's our response to something that happens. And we can choose response. This is 𝗕𝗕𝗓𝗘 Behind the Build, episode 63. So welcome back to another episode of 𝗕𝗕𝗓𝗘 Behind the Build. Before, I was at the yard and I wanted to bring you footage from the yard because as you've seen from what Hollywood's put together there, it is really starting to take shape now. We're finally moving the bits and pieces about in the yard to get it to sort of what we want it to be, at least in the short term. Something we can trade from and run the business from. But what we're finding, we're trying to run the yard and process all the bits and pieces that we've got, but also build at the same time. And it's coincided with us being really busy elsewhere. So a lot of labour that we could use to put the yard together are out on site. Project 𝗕𝗨𝗓𝗟 is flying, Project Grange is flying, Project Dudley is flying. We've got other projects as well that we've not yet brought to you on the channel. It's a nice problem to have, and I'm not complaining by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a bit annoying because do you spend money trying to put the yard together which actually doesn't earn you money, or do you actually go and earn the money to give you the pot of money to reinvest it back into the yard? So it's kind of a bit of a vicious circle, but it's a good problem to have, like I said. So yeah, the yard is taking shape. We're getting a lot of orders through, a lot of orders for soil, which is really annoying because it's raining, so we can't really make much soil, but we really need to work something out for that because we've got loads of orders coming through. We've got a big pile of stuff that we need to get through. Also, there's been a couple more developments which I'll tell you about later on in this week's episode. But as you know, we're builders first and foremost, and Project Grange is starting to come out of the ground. Let's have a look. So you can see there, those spindles are what's left over an overorder from Project 849. And I've been telling Charlotte she needs to take them back to Howden's or get them collected or whatever. This is an ongoing battle we have. Do we just then put them in stores and hopefully use them on a job, like I said, sell them on at some point? Or do we just send them back? At the moment, I'd rather have the money back on our Howden's account and not have them in storage and then buy them again when we need them. But at the moment, they're just sat there and it annoys me every time I walk past them. But Charlotte is on it. So yeah, you've seen Project Grange there. It's a good little job that. It's a double story extension. We're not doing that many extensions at the moment, and that's a deliberate decision because we've been looking at the numbers and we feel like we actually make more money on the other stuff, the HMOs, the big structural works, and as much as extensions used to form a massive part of our business, they don't anymore, and we don't actually make that much money when you break it down on how many weeks you're there, how much money you have to input into it, how many sort of wasted hours you have with the weather and stuff. But I'll always make sure we've got some extensions on the go because I want to keep Adam and Eve busy, and we've got a full team that goes in behind them, and you never know what they lead into. But yeah, I'm someone really that believes on the domestic side, the people that are really good extensions are the small builders, the sort of like one-man bands, those kind of things. And we're just not set up like that. We've set this company up like a sort of larger scale construction company in that we've got the back office, we've got the estimator, we've got the architectural technician, we've got project managers, we've got me, I'm not on the tools. Whereas these sort of smaller companies that are brilliant at what they do, they're led by the person that probably owns the company, he's on site every day, maybe he's nipping between a couple of sites, and you know what, they're great little companies too, but we're in competition with them. And the price that we've got to put, you know, on jobs, like domestic jobs like that, to make sure we're making profit isn't, sometimes prices us out the work. But yeah, as I mentioned in the introduction, I'm feeling a bit stressed this week because we've just got so much going on. Like, I thought this would be our quiet period up until sort of January. You know, we're always busy, but now I've introduced the yard and aggregates and all that, and the pressure of putting out 2 feature-length YouTube episodes a week. It is sort of weighing on me a little bit. I mean, I love it and I thrive off it, and I reckon I'm good under pressure, and it never gets me down. But yeah, I'm feeling stressed because I've been down to the yard before, like I've said, and there's so much that needs to happen, but it also needs to make money at the same time, and everything that needs to happen is going to cost money. So it's what to do for the best, really. But just going to keep plugging away, and I'm just going to tackle one day at a time. But yeah, it's tough, but I like it. It's a good tough. Let's crack on. So look who's joined us in Manchester. You know, I saw in one of the comments the other day, someone said you should keep hold of Alex. He's a really good asset to your company.
Oh yeah,
I don't think people realise that we're actually business partners, because obviously we're never really in the same room. But Alex comes to Manchester once a week, don't you? You've got a bit of a set structure on your way. You're trying.
Yeah, so I like to plan my days out every week, so I know where I am, where things need to be up to, and then I can have certain conversations. So it leads up to when Chris needs to speak to me about certain things that can't be done on the phone. We'll just wait for the certain days on there.
Where I'm not great with structure. I just sort of wake up on Monday and go to bed on Friday and see where I end up. But yeah, it is better with structure, definitely. But we're just talking about Alex's diet, because I was saying I'm the same as him. We just sometimes forget to eat, or I just eat for function. Like if I'm hungry, I'll just have a bowl of cereal. I don't even think, oh, that'd be nice or whatever. I never, like KTM, he like makes his meals for the full week and like proper.
I used to make all my own meal preps, but it's too time consuming. Especially when you're in business, you can be working till late at night, and you just forget about food. Like even today, Ian Hollywood always says, "Oh, you're eating late again," because I just forget to eat. Even though I know I'm hungry, I just think I need to get that done first, and then I'll eat. So
I'm saying, what have you got here? What's this then?
There's like a bit of a hit.
I got meal prep. I have my meals delivered as well.
Spinach bites with noodles.
How many calories is that?
4, 2, 3. But you don't base on that, do you? Base on your macros. It's your protein, carbs, fats.
Yeah.
Calories just work itself out. And a little protein.
I count how many Rice Krispies go to a bowl, to be honest.
Yeah. Chris has beans on toast, doesn't he? So
yeah. I just eat for function, like, because I think it's something to do with upbringing. My mum never used to cook. We used to have like sausage and chips every day, and I just used to eat for function. When I still do. I forget to eat, and then I'm like, oh god, I'm hungry. It's like 4 o'clock, and then what I'll do, I'll have my lunch at 4, and then go home, and Rachel's made my tea for like my dinner for like 6, so I have to eat 2 meals in 2 hours.
Oh, you haven't planned it.
No.
See, the macros are the most important things. You should start tracking.
What's that thing you've got there? You've got one of them. What is it?
Oh, the Whoop.
Any
So
good?
another little thing I bought recently as well. Someone's always messing saying, why have you got 2 watches on? I used to wear an Apple Watch as well as a normal watch, just literally to track health and stuff like that. So then I've changed to a Whoop instead now, which does your sleep and all that as well. Yeah, because it tells you when you need to go to bed, what your optimal sleep's like, and then does your strain for the day. So if you had that, like yesterday was a hard day for me, so it was telling me you've over exceeded your strain, so you need to rest today, even though I'm not resting. But then if you do like sauna or steam room and stuff like that, it lowers it down.
Does it? That's interesting, that.
Felt it.
You sleep in it?
Yeah, you wear 24/7, don't you?
I don't think I can sleep in a watch.
You can't tell it's on, it's like a band.
You know?
So but it helps though, like all these little 1% help.
Yeah, sleep's important. If I haven't had a good night's sleep, I'm a mess. I can't function properly, I get brain fog. After a beefer, oh my god.
Yeah.
So Alex and I are going to chat about a few bits. We've got some property stuff we need to go through, and maybe a couple more purchases. But whilst we're doing that, Dale has got to do some TLC on his own van. That van that he's got there, it's kind of come into its own because we've got a big fleet, and I don't know how we cope without Dale and that van prior to that. Well, I know we used to have to always worry about getting the vehicle recovered and taking it to a local mechanic and stuff. So it's Dale's just come into his own. Bless you.
So where's he going now?
He's got to go to Wales.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's where he's got the grab.
Grab. Yeah. So we got one of the grab is on Project 𝗕𝗏𝗟, and we think the clutch might have gone. So he's gonna have to get dispatched over there and do that. But at the moment, he's got to sort his own van because he's got an issue on that. So let's have a look.
Hi guys, so I've got my van in today. Front driver's side shock has gone, so the front end is very bouncy, and both drop links are well, not loose, but they're worn out, so knocking. Yeah, I can feel it on the front end. It's not the best. So we've got some new drop links turning up and a new shock absorber. So I'm gonna start to strip it down, and yeah, touch wood, the parts will turn up in time. They're usually pretty good, so yeah, we're going to crack on with that and get my van and driving a bit better. Yeah, so I'll show you through that now. So I've got some light on in here. You can see around the bottom of the shock here that it's all wet, which means the shock is leaking. So we will get that split off now. You'll have to undo, well, I'll have to undo some shock mounts which are in the top on the strut, and a few bolts around the bottom attaching to the wishbone or the hub, and yeah, we'll get all that stripped off, and then I'll have to compress the spring in order to get the top hat off, or the strut top off the spring. Then well, basically because the spring is under tension under the shock, so you have to take obviously the top mount off first in order to get the spring out, so then you can change the shock. So yeah, you'll see me just going through that now. So yeah, you can see here, this is all the oil, obviously muck stuff in it now as well, but this is all the oil that's come out of the shock. It's not the best. This is really springy, and this is the drop link, which has got a load of play in it, so that'll be, as you can hear there, is what's making all the noise. It is the same on the other side as well. Yeah, we'll see how we get on. And that is one bolt. Tighten this like this. So we've got the shock and the spring off. It's bolted from the top. One bolt here, attaching it to this top mount, which then sits under the strut tower. We've got the bearing here, which is not too bad. So I've got to now compress the spring with the spring compressors, which I'll show you shortly. to take the pressure off, so then I can undo this top bolt and remove it all and replace this shock that has been leaking. As you can see now, we have a compressed spring, so these here, they just grab onto two sections of the spring, you tighten them together, it brings the spring shorter, so it takes the tension off the shock. It can be quite dangerous, because if these fail, there's a lot of tension in that spring. The old shock is over there, and it's absolutely knackered. Literally just, you can pull it up and down like this, it's empty. Which is no good at all. So we're building it back up now. The new shock is in. Just need to attach it back to the hub and then change the drop link. Out with the old, in with the new.
I reckon one day that we could even get Dale his own channel, because that stuff on its own is quite interesting. Okay, but again, it's weird because a lot of you guys that watch, probably, people watch for different reasons, don't they? Some people love the yard-based stuff, some people love construction, and a lot of people love what Dale does. And I believe that our content, because it's that varied, that's what makes it interesting. So I'm sat at HQ now, which is like the nerve centre. As you guys know, we've got information everywhere. So I can hear now at the moment, TB's working on trying to get the utilities organised for our yard build that we showed you in Sunday's episode. But also, I can walk around here, see on the screen, see what the labour is looking like for the next couple of weeks. I've noticed that we've got a lot of activity in the yard. So this stuff here is the yard. We've also then got someone on holiday, cousin Alex on holiday, stuff in Liverpool, stuff in Wales. We're all over the place. And then we've got the grab schedule as well and the aggregate stuff. So that kind of fills up day by day. You don't really tend to plan that ahead. We kind of just get a call saying, need a grab today or tomorrow. So yeah, we're not as busy as we probably could be, but we're getting busier. And honestly, I love that yard stuff. So much so that, remember the other week I told you that we were going to look at buying another grab? Well, that's going through. More about that on Sunday. Over on Project Dudley, the loft conversion, we're now inside. The roof has been GRP'd, as you saw on Sunday, and the boys are cracking on with the first fix joinery. So I've wrapped up with Alex now. He's actually gone back to Liverpool, and I'll tell you why in a minute. We've just renewed our fleet policy. So I get quite a lot of inquiries or people asking me, like, what do you do about insurance for your vehicles? And we've got a fleet policy. I think I've talked about this in previous episodes before, where we used to have loads of different policies. It was an absolute nightmare because at least twice a week I was on the phone to an insurance company renegotiating. What it was, it used to be that I'd be the driver as in the insured, and then the actual driver of the vehicle, so the tradesman would be the named driver. But the problem was, if we ever had a bump or anything like that, which does happen, then it would go against my no claim, so it was a shocker. So I was putting it off, and eventually we went over to a fleet policy. It's the best thing I ever did. One by one, last year we got them, well, this is actually over the space of 2 years, we got them over onto a fleet policy. And now I've got a really good broker, and what they've done is they put it out to market because we've got over 40 odd vehicles. It's quite a lot. I mean, it's over 50 grand the policy. They put it out to tender and said, look, who's interested in this business? And we've had a lot of insurance companies come in and tender for it. And well, I don't know if you call it tender, but they've said they wanted it, showed interest. So we finally picked a company. We were with Allianz, a really big insurer last year, but they came back and they wanted about 56k, whereas this new insurance company have come in, and we've managed to get it down to 44k. So it's a decent saving, and it's exactly the same. You update it all yourself. You do a quarterly return, where basically at the end of the quarter you tell them what you've had on cover, what you've had off cover, and they'll bill you accordingly or give you a credit accordingly. So it's quite good. It's you know, you don't have to get on the phone, be on hold for an hour. It used to be my worst nightmare, but it's yeah, it's a good saving that, and hopefully we can, touch wood, we can keep the claims low because they do it as a percentage of your claims, and then we'll make another saving next year. But with the rate we're adding HGVs, it's probably going to go up. But like, I see vans as a tool that, you know, they're there to make us money. Vans and trucks, machines and tools to make us money. So yeah, Alex has gone back to Liverpool, and he said he's going to do a little bit of filming for us at Project Adelaide 2. So if you remember, on Adelaide Road in Liverpool, we actually own a few properties on there. We've just finished one, which is Project Adelaide, which you've seen the finished product. Well, this one, we're now back on it. We've had to park it for a bit because we had so much to do with Project Jubilee, Project Albert Edwards, Project Albert we're calling it, weren't we? And the other stuff that we've had going on, our maintenance season as well. So finally, we're able to get a bit of energy back into that, and we're going to bring it to you on the channel. And hopefully a lot of you guys love the property development side. You'll see how we do our own project. So over to you, Mr. Riddick.
So we're on Adelaide 2.0. To give you an update, we haven't really been on here, to be honest with you. We've just been getting on with other works, loads of maintenance bits that we've been working through, and obviously we put a bit of effort into getting the Jubilee drives over the line for the customer. So Christian's now made a start on it properly, although we ripped it out ready as a blank canvas for us to crack on with. We've got everything in place to start putting floors and stuff, but we haven't actually started in here. Christian's now started doing the foundations and the drainage, the back, so we'll show you what we're up to, because this job will start to move now. Now we'll come to an end on a Jubilee. We'll move on to here and push this on. So when I say Adelaide 2.0, it's actually not, because we've got a couple on here. It's probably, I think it's Adelaide 6.0, this one now, because there's a couple. That one there's ours as well. Obviously you've seen the one behind getting done, which is the most recent one, and this is now the new one. So let's go and have a look where we're up to.
Yes. Yeah, the chimney. Okay, we haven't got the chimney, but we still got the base for the chimney. Yeah, the canteen.
Je kan video daar gaan, ja? Wie video daar?
Yeah. Canteen.
It's the canteen. Welcome to the canteen. So yeah, so the floor, as we're standing on now, this will go, the floor above will go once we put that loft floor in. As I say, we haven't done it yet. Well, by the end of this week, starting next week, we'll make a start on it and get it in, and then this will come out, take that wall down, put the next floor in, then this will come out, put this floor in, because this floor is getting dropped as well. So you'll see for now Christian has cut out a channel to get the underground drainage done. We put all the underground drainage in first, and then the floor across it, because we can get it to where we need it to go, get the floor, the fall right, going into the manhole. And is that going to be 6 inch all the way now?
6 inch all the way now, yeah. And
then you're going to go up to 4?
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
So we started doing that. Yeah, we started putting the bigger stuff in now, just to get all them 6 toilets flushed and out. And then in the back then, you'll see where the chamber's going to go. And then once all that's been poured, then you'll divert on into the main drain.
Yes, but before we need to create the shooter off first. And just behind the shooter, 45 and just 45 back.
Is that a P-trap on there? No?
No, that's not the P-trap, that's stayed the main one. Yeah, we removed the P-trap already.
Yeah, sometimes you can have, if people don't really know what they're sort of doing, they'll leave the P-trap in. It can cause you problems when you put a new drainage into it, because you won't get the flow all the way through and it can back up because it hasn't been installed properly, or reinstalled properly. So you're just best to do away with it and just go straight into the main drain. There, where Christine's dug, so in this area as well, it's renowned for having to pile extensions. The past 4 or 5 we've had to pile.
Yes.
Isn't it easy? This one, we think
it looks okay because clear soil, nothing backfield.
Yeah. So a lot of the ground's all been made back up again, and you can be digging for like 1.2, 1.345 meters down, which is too far down, it's too dangerous to work. And by the time you spend the time going down, getting the waste removed, it's easy to just pile. And that's what we've had to do in the last couple of jobs. As I say, this one, Christian's already told me that we might not need to do it, so we can just do normal traditional foundations, which is good, save a bit of coin, not as much money. You can see next door's already built theirs, but most of the time they've always got away with it anyway, because we even had to pile when we built next door to someone in the past. So another problem is when next door have already built an extension, because you don't know what they've done the other side, or whether it's up to regs or not. Most building inspectors now will tell you to imagine that isn't there and still build your extension off, which means you've got a smaller room inside and a bigger nib to work off, which is what we don't want. We want as big as floor space as we can, but we'll have to have the chat and see what gets said. Sometimes they'll let you put insulation on and then go on with a new one skin, but it's only ever happened to us once that. Every other time we've had to do 2. So as I say, this extension will be built out, as you can see it there, and it's the same as all our other jobs, no different. It'll be built out, pitch roof, this will all be rendered, whole house will be rendered, all new windows, be all dropped to different heights. The new gate will be here, this wall will come down, and then again it'll just look like another one of our houses, no different than what we've done in the past, easy. Just churn them out and keep going, so yeah. But other than that on here, there's not much really else to show. Once the lads have cracked on upstairs, we'll start showing a little bit more of this now as it comes together, and the lads start getting onto as we come to an end on other jobs, because we're not under no time pressure either, because these students will not be moving until next July 2025. We've got loads of time, but that doesn't mean don't do nothing.
Fly, Alex.
So we need to just get done. But at the minute, because we've been on other jobs, it hasn't really been a priority, but it is now a priority to get done. But we should smash this out. Easy.
Yeah, it's okay, need to focus on it.
So yeah, so you remember this one used to be the kitchen, the old little kitchen. And as I say, this property was probably good enough to stay as it was and be rented out the way it was. It was still tenanted when we bought it, and we still would have been able to fill it with tenants when they moved out and kept it running as it was. But we, as property developers, know that we can get that little bit more out of each property, which is why we get them, rip them out, do this to it, and then we can increase the rents, increase the yield, increase the GDV, and earn that a little bit more and sweat the asset that much better than what it was. So you've got to think like all these properties in this area, they're all the same sort of layout, same sort of standards, but it depends what you do with them inside for how much money you get in return. So as I say, our mindset is to get in, do them as best we can, put like a 25-30 year lifespan into the building in terms of the quality that gets built as, and then just run it and just keep running and running and running it then, and obviously keep it maintained just like you would maintain your car, servicing every year. We do the same on our properties, make sure that at a top-notch standard, maintained each year, with at an expense to us, but just to keep them up there, to keep the rents getting pushed up and to keep them working and running, because they are basically a workhorse. And once they cash flow, it's like a cash machine. Once you've got all your money back out of them, like this one would probably take us 3 years before we have all the money back out that we put in initially from the rent and refinance, and then it's just literally a cash machine, and that's how you just see them, every single one, another cash machine coming through. And as well as being a cash machine, it's also serving a purpose for rental stock that is needed in Liverpool, that is a high-end product for people to come live and stay in the city. And when people like mums and dads, guarantors, come down with the tenants, the daughters, the sons, they feel a little bit nicer going home, knowing that they're in a nice home that's been done to a good standard and done in the thought process. If we were living in it, like we look at these properties, if we were going to live in there tomorrow, what would we want it to be like? Not just try and do it the cheapest way and like do any mishmash thing going on. We want to try and do it decent, so yeah. But yeah, as I say, kitchen there, that knock through will be done there, which is what me and Christian spoke about. And then it'll go through into the extension. It'll be the same layout as the other Adelaide that you've seen getting done, which is the table will be there. Then you'll have the American fridge freezer and it'll run around the kitchen, coming around, and door will stay in the same position, won't move. That normally we have to mess around moving them. Window looks pretty sound, the height will just change, it'll come down lower, but obviously it'll be a new replacement, but the location of it is fine, so that'll stay. It'll just be a new window going into the extension, and this time round we need to make sure Christian and I get it right centre with the sink, just so it's got that better symmetrical line. It's another thing as well that's just never spoken about, you know, to be honest with you, from anyone who does property, especially HMOs, is the utility bills. Now I know there's companies out there that you can use to look after everything for you, and you don't really need to deal with it. They'll deal with the water, gas, lecky, Wi-Fi and stuff, but we priced it for our portfolio and it was too expensive. Like, it was another 200 quid per property per month, what we can do cheaper basically managing it ourselves. So you could pay for someone in the office that just to literally look after utilities, but at the moment it's sort of one of my jobs that I take on, and it's a never-ending thing doing it, getting your meter readings and stuff, especially when it's not a smart meter, because when you buy a new property and you're paying bills and stuff like that, there's loads going on, especially with the TV licence, even though you don't need one. Now it's been ripped out, they'll just keep chasing you for the money, and then they'll threaten you with a visit, and you can come and see this and see there's no tellies on in here. But keeping on top of utility bills is a tough job sometimes, and sometimes I can spend days on the phone, on hold, trying to get things updated or progressed. And it's one that I've been dealing with on this property, because we're trying to shift it. The previous landlord had it set up, but it's still set up with business rates as a business commercial property, even though it's not. So he done it at the time to get a better rate on his unit rate, which I can see why he done it. But now it's gone more expensive. The charge you pay per day, the standing charge is massive. So we're trying to get it back onto Resi, but the company that he used, I'd never even heard them before. They're hard work dealing with them. There's just no online system, it's all by phone. You have to wait to get through to them and give them consistent meter reads. And I'm trying to shift it over to Octopus because it's easy to manage on my dashboard, and the rates are quite decent, to be fair, and easy to use, good customer service, and it's just hard getting them moved over, so I'm going to get more meter readings again. But yeah, just never spoken about that. So as you can see, nothing's happened since we last showed this, and as I say, because no one's been on here to do it. The timber's coming tomorrow, and then once the timber's coming, the lads are coming to put it in. But as I say, now that the other jobs are all coming to an end, we can then start diverting all the energy into this project, and it'll start coming on quite quick. When it's at this stage anyway, like, a lot of the hard work's already been done, getting it ripped out. Once the floors and all that start flying in, the stud work, it'll change massively. And then obviously we've got the stairs to order, which Preferred Joinery will be making for us, which will be another 3 sets of stairs, double wind into the loft, the straight inner wind into the first, and straight into the basement. So yeah, so you fly through this now.
Yeah, we go over. I want to go over, Alex, before December.
Yeah,
I want to close and just work inside.
Yeah, because he's trying to want it to be warm, doesn't he, Christian? But it'll be easy to be done. September now.
Yeah,
easy.
September, but you know, different jobs just keep coming up.
I know.
The maintenance, yeah, there's the maintenance, it's bad. My Achilles. Achilles heel, you mean? Yeah, because those little bits keep coming up on that, and because we are in a position to be able to just put a bit more effort into them, we have been, obviously we're doing the other bits on Jubilee Drive, so once all them bits are done, we hit this now. And this is the difficulty when you've got a job that's got no time pressure on it. It's just like, oh yeah, do that next week, or do that next week, and that's one of these jobs. So at the minute we've just been pushing back because it has not been a priority. So all good. And you're back over to Chris now anyway.
So as I said, we'll bring you more on that project in every episode, because it is nice trying to see the continuity of our builds, and you can see the troubles we have, the issues, and how we overcome them. So that's it for another episode of Every Trade Behind the Build. I hope you've liked it. Make sure you come back on Sunday, because there's going to be another big yard update and an update on our latest purchase as well. Hopefully we'll take delivery of that and we'll be able to bring it to you. But things are happening thick end fast. Oh yeah, quick update. It wasn't actually a clutch on the grab. Dale's told us it's an airline and it's losing air. So we've managed to do a quick repair and tape it up, which has meant that Dale's not had to go to Abersock, which is good because that was going to be an expensive one. So we're just going to try and get the grab back to HQ and get it looked at there by Dale tomorrow. Again, we might bring you that in the channel. The problem is there's only one Hollywood and there's only one me, but we're doing our best. So have a great rest of the week. Don't you dare forget to come back on Sunday. If you like the video, click like. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Get your family to subscribe. Tell your friends about us, because this is a friendly, warm, entertaining, and hopefully interesting bit of content for you to consume. Have a great week, guys. See you on Sunday. Messed my words up a bit there, but